Yes. So a community is a huge part of what we see our vision for Unlimited being.
Sure, sure.
Because we're creating a social beverage brand,
Mm-hmm.
what we're trying to blur the lines between a brand and people's lives, and how they connect with each other. We see
Right.
Unlimited as being able to be the catalyst that brings people together. And
Yes.
so
Okay.
that's really big part of our mission and offering is not
Mm-hmm.
just offering the beverage itself, but spaces and experiences and partnerships that bring people together in socially empowered ways. So
Sure.
because the culture has been alcohol centric, and for a long time, all social activities were experienced at a bar,
Yeah.
or at a dinner party, we are looking to really bring in an element of more non-traditional social experiences into our brand in the ways that we partner with other communities, other brands, and also experiences that we're a part of. So different social experiences, festivals, as well as our own unlimited created events.
Hi, Danielle. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, good evening. I'm
Good
great. How are you
evening.
doing?
All well, all well. Thank you so much. How is everyone at home?
Everything is amazing. How are you doing?
All well, all well. It has been pretty cold here, but it's fun. So yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah, we're experiencing the opposite. We have a summer as winter, so it's
Yeah,
been definitely a change since I used to live in Toronto. It's a very big change living here in
yeah,
Los Angeles.
lovely. That's great. So, did you not go for this fancy food show?
No, I didn't go. I'm going to Expo West, but
Okay,
I had friends that went to Fancy Food Show. That was
okay.
yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. It's for 3 days, if I'm not wrong, 6 to 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely. Great, but I mean, really appreciate your time for joining on this session. Thank you so much for joining in.
Of course. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Lovely. Hi, viewers. Good morning. Welcome to the new episode of Sustainable Future Food Talk. Today, we have with us Danielle from California. Danielle is a next generation visionary thought leader, and she is also the founder and CEO of Unlimited, a non-alcoholic social beverage and lifestyle brand helping the next generation stay social without the pressure to alter their states. She has combined her own personal transformation journey with her background in business, brand building, and psychology to create a culture redefining brand. So, Daniel, this is so interesting. I mean, Unlimited is such a great name. If you can maybe throw some light on that, and what is your brand's mission, and where do you intend to go?
Of course. Yeah. So a little bit of background with the name. It definitely just came to me, but it really encapsulates everything that we are looking to create and the vision for our company, as well as our mission, which
Sure.
is to unlimit the social culture that exists in the Western part of the world, is now also starting to exist in other parts of the world,
Right.
where we feel this need and this pressure to drink alcohol in order to feel confident and connected to other people socially. And it's been so ingrained in our culture for so long that when people are deciding, their values are changing, they care more about their health, they don't want to be hungover all the time, they want to be clear minded.
Right.
But when they're making this transition, it can feel incredibly uncomfortable if it's all that you've known. So we're creating a brand platform really that allows and empowers people to be comfortable in social situations, choosing to be themselves while they still have a culturally relevant drink option. So that's really our mission and the encapsulation of our vision moving forward.
Lovely. That's so lovely. This is such a great initiative because, remaining off alcohol is such a great thing while, having your limitless boundaries. So that's incredible. Thank you so much for this, and wish you all the best for this.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So, Daniel, I mean, since you're now launching your brand Unlimited in the US, so if you can please suggest a few tips for fellow entrepreneurs to consider while defining the target audience.
Yes. So with defining a target audience, I have found that the best place to start is typically what brought you to create the solution you're creating in the first place.
Sure.
So as a founder, typically when we're creating a business or a brand, it's coming from a personal problem that we've experienced that we wanted to solve for. So I think starting there and really getting clear on why did you start this? Why did you want to create this solution? And starting to piece together those characteristics or those problem areas in your life that you experienced that made you want this solution. That will kind of help create a sort of container to figure out what other people are also experiencing that same problem.
Yes.
Ask around, ask friends, ask family, ask strangers, bring up the problem that you've experienced that you want to solve for and get other people's insights on that. And it will help you really define who that target audience is. And so over time, you'll start to figure out, what time of day or maybe what emotional need do people want to solve for, and what commonality do all these people have.
Right.
Also note that target markets will change, and this is just your first stab at it when you're coming to market. So remember to stay open to any changes that may happen as you're gaining more information about your market. So let's say before you launch, the more information that you gather, the better. You're really defining who those people are. Yes. Because if you're trying to speak to everyone with your product, although many different people may use whatever you're creating, many different types of people, there will be a core group of people that are the most aligned. Yes. They make the most sense. So really ensuring that you're going very specific with your initial target market so that you're speaking to very specific people and creating for very specific people, and then staying open to change. So as you're in market and you learn more information, just stay open and have the ability to pivot if that's kind of the information that's being reflected to you.
Interesting. I think this is such a great point because, if you have your, identified your right target audience, then you would put in your efforts in that direction, right? And so that you'll work on your great efficiencies. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, weeding out as specific as you can get, the better, because then you're able to put in more effort and more care and thought into that specific target market and really solve for their unique challenges. And yeah, you can always, everything is always evolving and changing. Yes. So if you notice that, there's a group of people that are even more aligned with what you've built, then stay open to pivoting and really listening to those consumers.
Right. Lovely. Great. Coming down to my next question, Daniel. So, I mean, you have spent some time in the US market as well as Canada. So how do you see the new consumer trends in these markets?
I think that the US tends to set the precedent for any innovation as far as what Canada ends up adopting. So I think the best market to really look to as far as innovation and consumer products is the US. Okay. And what I'm noticing overall as trends and shifts that are occurring with this group of consumers is anything that is bringing us closer to our nature. Yes. So that has to do with trends in sustainability, trends in health and wellness being holistic and it not
Right.
just being the way that you move your body, but it's how you lead your life. And I think that
Yes.
any innovations really that are bringing us closer to our nature in that regard, and also in a community oriented capacity. So it's interesting right now that consumer products are skewing and leaning heavily into creating and being a part of community.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that that's something that's been missing in the Western culture for a long time, is that community element. And when you're creating a consumer product, especially food and beverage, that's very much a part of ritual and community and family and that sort of culture. And I think bringing that back into the West and bringing that back into people's lives here has been a huge trend that's just now starting. And so I think that you'll see more and more innovations that really loop in the community and wellness side of how to lead a truly healthy life. And
Right.
that goes beyond just ingredients.
Yes, that's right. So this gave me a thought as to, since you talked about community. So in your case, let's say if we talk about Unlimited, so what kind of a community are you trying to build, and I mean, who are your early adopters in this case?
Yes, so a community is a huge part of what we see our vision for Unlimited being.
Sure, sure.
Because we're creating a social beverage brand,
Mm-hmm.
what we're trying to blur the lines between a brand and people's lives, and how they connect with each other. We see
Right.
Unlimited as being able to be the catalyst that brings people together. And
Yes.
so
Okay.
that's really big part of our mission and offering, is not
Mm-hmm.
just offering the beverage itself, but spaces and experiences and partnerships that bring people together in socially empowered ways. So
Sure.
because the culture has been alcohol centric, and for a long time, all social activities were experienced at a bar,
Yeah.
or at a dinner party, we are looking to really bring in an element of more non-traditional social experiences into our brand in the ways that we partner with other communities, other brands, and also experiences that we're a part of. So different social experiences, festivals, as well as our own unlimited created events.
Lovely. That's so lovely. Lovely. So coming down to my next question, you talked about sustainability as well. So sustainability, of course, is an important element, and you at Unlimited are also aggressively working towards it. So what are those non-negotiables for an emerging CPG brand to consider around sustainability?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic because when getting into the space, this desire for convenience really doesn't lend itself well to sustainable
True.
practices.
Yes.
Um, Online shopping and all the packaging, it really is kind of counter to any sustainability goals.
True.
So I think just the partners that you work with along your supply chain really matter.
Mhm.
Using recycled materials if you can, to the best of your ability. If you are selling online and need cardboard and all of this extra packaging, I think
Right.
keeping it to a minimum is
Mhm.
best.
Mhm.
Working with suppliers, we have suppliers that use recycled materials to create their cardboard. So any sort of step in the right direction as far as exactly what you're packaging with is
Mhm.
important. Um, Selling things online can be a bit challenging because you are
Yeah.
relying on a network of ground transportation, and it isn't necessarily sustainable overall. And
Yes.
so keeping these things in mind is important, I think, from both a consumer standpoint and what you choose to purchase, being more local and like local brands and not international brands, actually way more sustainable overall. And your packaging. So it's interesting going into beverage, because when you start out, you're creating such small amounts that you have to use what's called a shrink sleeve, which is plastic over the can.
Right.
And it means that in order to recycle the can, you have to actually take off that plastic.
Yeah.
So it can be as small as, do you have a perforated line along the plastic on your can so that people can take off it easily and recycle the can as needed. But overall, as you scale, looking to use cans that are printed on directly so that you don't have to use this plastic, that's something that just needs to be kept in mind as you grow. And those options are available. So it's just having these intentions in mind when you come to market, and then also throughout the life cycle of your entire business. So as you grow, your impact and on the environment becomes bigger by nature of the scale that you're operating at. So just keeping these things in mind throughout the entire journey of building your brand.
Right. And this has now become really an important factor, and consumers are also, now getting aware around this. And they also now, while walking down the aisle, look at such kind of products that are, genuinely sustainable. And that's what ultimately helps the planet. So yeah, I think overall, we are moving in the right direction, and hopefully that will lead us to a good life.
Exactly. I think anything that we can do as founders and creators of consumer brands, the innovation that you're bringing to people's lives and bringing them closer to themselves and their true nature is super important. And then also how it is you are packaging that product is equally as important to our earth. So I think we are moving in the right direction, but I think it's definitely up to new brands to really lead that. We can really set the tone, and I think that consumers really resonate with that as well.
Absolutely. Lovely. So coming down to my last question for this session, Daniel. So, what are those key steps while building Unlimited you think were important, and while launching in the US market, which will be useful for the growing brands?
Yes. So this is a great question, because I didn't come from this background at all. I grew up in Canada. So even the US market was foreign to me as far as who the players are and that sort of thing. So the biggest key to the success of what I've built so far and will continue to build, I know it, are the people who you seek out advice from. I think it's incredibly important to lean on people who have done it before or are experts in their space. Right. So for me, not coming from a food background, as far as like consumer products goes, I didn't know all the players. I didn't work in this industry forever. So the biggest key that unlocked a lot of learnings and understanding and really helped start to build the foundation of my business was connecting with a beverage formulator who is also a consultant in the space, has a lot of experience with retailers, with distributors, and he is an incredible person. His name's Marty. He owns Ocean Blue Innovation.
Okay.
And he really provided so much guidance and support when I was really building the initial foundation pieces of my business. And I happened to find him on Google. So
is it?
Yeah, I think the biggest key to success for me has been networking and
Right.
learning from other people. So I have an incredible network. I've been able to connect with incredible founders in the CPG space, in the beverage space, executives at Coca-Cola, I've been working closely with. And these have all happened by being open and reaching out. And
Yes.
who are people that you admire or who are really incredible at what they do, and
Yeah.
then asking for help.
Right.
And I think the more that you lean on a community of people to help bring your creation to life, the better. And it will only create a better, more robust product and brand.
Yes.
And you're not supposed to know everything. It's not your job
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
everything.
Absolutely.
So, work with people who know more than you. I think that's the best piece of advice I can give.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And I think you have made a very important point here when you said that it is important to learn from people who have already done that, because it's, I mean, unnecessarily just reinventing the wheel doesn't make any sense, right? Because you can put your efforts, put your resources in the right direction where it is necessary, and not just just starting it from scratch. And but yeah, it is very important to reach out to people and seek for help and guidance, and talk to as many people as you can. And that's how a great ecosystem is also built. So
Yeah, and I
it's
think
pretty.
adding on to what you just mentioned, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you know what you want to build. So
Yes.
as much as you're asking for advice and opinion, be discerning with whom you're asking it from, and also filter it through your own lens.
True.
Is this something that resonates with your vision, with what you
Yes.
want to build? And then take the pieces of advice and the suggestions as such. So,
Right.
because everyone has their own opinion, everyone has their own personal
Yeah.
experiences, and not all of them are going to be yours as a
Oh,
founder.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So being discerning and staying true to what you see for your company is also equally as important, I think.
Sure. Sure. Great. So, thank you so much for these incredible answers, Daniel. On a closing note, I mean, if you want to make any, remark for our viewers as to how can they reach out to you, and how can you be helpful for the entrepreneurship community, and to build this planet a better place to live.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm happy to connect with anyone who would want to speak on building a brand in this space, has any questions. People who have given me advice have been absolutely incredible and the key to my the start of my success. So I'm happy to be a resource to anyone. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, even at Danielle Stasko. It's I'm sure you'll post that in the notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can follow our brand at Drink Unlimited on TikTok, on Instagram, and also on LinkedIn as well for any updates if you want to stay informed. And at our website, drinkunlimited.com.
That's awesome. Wish you all the best, Daniel, for this, and really appreciate your time once again. And happy to help you as well in whatever way we can. And let's make this, make this place a better place to live for future generations as well. So thank you once
Absolutely.
again, and you have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of this. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.